Ticket Machine is the official ticket broker of Spartan Nation. No matter what you need a ticket for, border to border, coast to coast, the Ticket Machine is your ticket source. So whether you need to get into the hottest concerts, the best sporting events, you want the best seats in the house, or you just want to get in the door, when you want to go to any event that requires a ticket, anywhere, border to border, coast to coast, it's always theticketmachine.com. Theticketmachine.com, 517-655-3201. Check it out today at theticketmachine.com.
Okay, everyone. We're going to start with the Bucknell student athletes. Just a few reminders to please silence your cell phones or any other devices that you have in the room. We are asking that you not record any parts of the press conferences with either the student athletes or the coaches. That is available through Hammond Communications, and you can see our friends in the back if you would like that. So to get this underway, Stephen Brown, Zach Thomas, and Nana Folland. Did I say that correctly? All right. Yeah, I was worried about that all day. We will open with questions for the Bucknell student athletes.
This first one, Tom Davis, Fort Wayne News Sentinel, for Zach. Explain your senior project again. Can you do that in layman's terms for the uneducated?
Yeah, I'll try. Okay, threw me off guard there. Yeah, so I'm working on a senior design project. It's as a biomedical engineer, we have to do that as our senior design. So my group's working on a device that stabilizes the coronary artery during bypass surgery. So we're basically making improvements to the current device that's being used.
What interested you about that?
And you're talking about biomedical engineering?
That particular
just that
field,
subject, yeah.
medical, all of that.
Well, I didn't know I wanted to do it when I was a freshman, but I got into it through a program that they put you through your freshman year. Gets you a little taste of a couple different engineering fields. So I chose that my freshman year. And then for this project, it was kind of, we were able to choose a couple different topic areas, and ours was cardiology department. So we then focused that idea after a couple weeks of probing in that area.
Now, all three of you have been honored for academics. Is there peer pressure among your team to excel? And maybe Stephen and Nana could answer this. Is there peer pressure among everybody to perform academically within your program?
I wouldn't say not necessarily peer pressure. I mean, we all come to Bucknell to get a good education and also play sports. So, I mean, you know, we just always try to keep each other accountable with our school. I mean, if anybody needs help, I mean, a bunch of us are usually in similar classes with electives and stuff. So, I mean, we do a pretty good job of keeping each other accountable. So, I mean, there's really no pressure, especially when everybody is motivated to do well in school.
Airback report online. Gentlemen, I remember last year you took West Virginia almost to the end in Buffalo before falling. How much can you draw on that experience into your game tomorrow night against Michigan State?
No.
Just that, you know, we've been here before and you know what to expect this time. And, you know, we've prepared all year. We've had a tough non-conference schedule to play big teams like this. So we're up for the challenge. We're better prepared this year, so it should be fun.
Zach, this is Matt Wenzel with MLive. You are a biomedical engineering major. What do you plan on doing next year at this time?
I plan on playing basketball.
Okay.
You know, hopefully that major will pay dividends down the road. But, yeah, for next year I'm trying to play professionally. So. Okay,
your matchup is Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure you've seen of him. How do you prepare for a guy like that who's obviously got the length, 7'4" wingspan, and all the skill and talent?
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, obviously he's a draft lottery pick type, so it's going to be a tough matchup. So I think with that, you just kind of have to look at where I could limit him as best I can, and then I think I'm a matchup problem as well for him. So just try and exploit his small weaknesses that he has, and then play to my strengths and use my my knowledge of the game since he's a freshman. So hopefully I have a little bit of experience on him.
Mike DeFabo, CNHI. For any of you guys, in the one-and-done era, it's increasingly rare to see 3 seniors up here at the podium leading scorers and all that. First of all, just what does it mean, or what, to be up there together and to go through this journey together and have it, come to an end in the NCAA tournament? And also, in what ways do you think that the experience is going to show itself?
I mean, it's definitely a blessing being able to, be with such a great class. Being able to go to the NCAA tournament back-to-back years, being seniors, you couldn't ask for anything more, especially wait to end your, 4 years here at Bucknell, and to be in it with along these guys. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better.
Ryan Cole with Impact Sports. Really, for any of you, Tom Izzo says that he, quote, shakes his head whenever he sees that you guys are a 14 seed. I mean, what's that like to see a Hall of Fame coach so widely known for March success giving credit to your team like that?
Yeah, we shake our heads when they're a 3 seed. So, it's just the way it worked out, I guess. We feel like we probably could have been maybe a little bit higher, but we like our chances either way. No matter who we're playing against, we just got to play solid. If we don't come out and play solid, then we're going to get beaten. So we know we just have to be focused. That didn't matter really what game we got or who we drew. We knew it was going to be tough. So, we're ready to get that, have that focus today and shoot around, and then tomorrow in a game.
For Nana, you start off the season with a bunch of high major tough challenges this year. Did Coach Davis talk to you guys about, we're going to start off in our non-conference schedule with a lot of really difficult tests so that we can get back here and be better prepared? Or did the coaches just do that and you looked at it and like, oh, that's what they did?
It was a little bit of both. We wanted to, be better prepared for like when we do get here, and the opponents that we face. We've played Carolina, we played Arkansas, so like we played some big time schools. So when we get here, we knew that we were gonna face potentially a big time school again. So it was part of it was to prepare for this time, and part of it is just because we want to compete. We want to compete with the best. You want to play all the worst teams in college basketball. You want to play some of the best. So, as a competitor, I feel like you owe yourself that to do that, to go at the best at anything, really.
All right, and lastly for me, for Stephen, when you look at the NCAA tournament field, Vermont's not in, Rider, Wagner, Middle Tennessee State, a bunch of programs just like yours that won 25, 26, 27 games. Meanwhile, there's Power 5 teams that didn't even have winning records in their league, and they get in. When you see stuff like that, does it bother you, or did you not even notice that Vermont's not in or somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely saw a couple of those games that they were playing in. I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, you go a whole year playing, and your season kind of comes down to you win or lose in a tough matchup or a tough game, no matter if you play well or not. It's kind of tough. I mean, it's just how things goes with the NCAA tournament. I mean, I didn't really think about it that way, the way that you described it, but I mean, it's just how things kind of go, especially being in kind of like the mid-major leagues, low major leagues too as well. I mean, you face a lot of those situations, a lot of those challenges, and it's kind of disappointing to see those other teams. Kind of saddening to see those teams that that have a great season and don't have the opportunity to be here.
Chris?
Hey, Chris Solari from the Detroit Free Press. This is for Zach. A year ago, you guys were in this position, almost similar seed, and put the test to West Virginia. What did you guys take from that into this year to keep the success going, and how do you apply that in the next few days?
So we coming here last year was obviously a great experience for us. It was the first time for us, so we used that as motivation to get back here. We used that all season long. Every game, we know what the main goal was to get back here, and we didn't want to just get back here. We wanted to set the goal of winning a game or two in here and get as far as we can. Because we think we're talented enough. We got a great group coming back We got us three as seniors who were kind of leading the way. So, we kind of had that experience under our belt. And we wanted to take that in every game and do as best we could. And, we have the confidence, this year's a little bit different for us. Last year it was fun to take in everything. This year I'd say we're a little bit more focused. Still enjoying it, but definitely want to play as best we can and hopefully give ourselves a shot to win.
Graham.
Graham Couch, Lansing State Journal. Fernando, how do you deal with Nick Ward? He's obviously a guy a lot of people double team. How do you deal with him?
Yeah, he loves getting deep position and just getting easy buckets. So it's hard, but at the same time, it's fun playing people like that. You don't want it easy. You want someone that's going to go at you, and I'm going to go at him. So it's you got to work, fight around, and try not to get him the easy touches, make everything hard. I mean, good players are going to do what good players do, but you have to make every possession hard for them.
Evan Meyer, Mac Report Online again. Nana, you mentioned about the high majors, but also in the Patriot League, you have two of the service academies that in your league, in Army and Navy. I've asked football players, they say it's very special to play in that type of environment. Is it the same for college basketball players when they go into West Point and go into Annapolis as the season goes on?
Yeah, I think all three of us, the whole team, we love to play those places, not just because of, Army or Navy thing, but just because they just compete. They play hard the whole game, and they make you earn the win. So it's just fun. They're competitors, and they're good people. I can't really speak to the environment, whether it's different from football or not, because I don't know about that, but just overall, just them being competitors and everything like that, it's a great spot to play at.
Do we have any more questions for the student? Yep, over here.
Ryan Cole with Impact Sports. This is for any of you again. You guys are playing in Detroit, obviously real close to Michigan State. What's it like? What's going through your minds when you're thinking of kind of the fan turnout as far as the other team goes?
Yeah, obviously we know that there's going to be a lot of Michigan State fans here. So we're hoping that we can, kind of quiet them early, and then for the fans that aren't here that aren't Michigan State fans, hopefully they jump on our side. I know we'll have a good amount of Bucknell fans there too, so hopefully we can, kind of limit that crowd, having as much of a factor, try and shut them up early.
Any further questions for the student athletes? All right, gentlemen, we'll let you head off and get ready for practice. Congrats on a great year, and good luck tomorrow. We will we'll open up the second part of this press conference with an opening statement from Coach Davis, and then we will open the floor to questions.
Well, obviously, we're very excited to be here. We know it's going to be a great challenge. Michigan State's got one of the best teams in the country. I think we got a pretty good team, too, so we'll go out there and see what happens. We don't need to be better than them for 4 games or 4 days. It's just 40 minutes, and we'll let it fly and see what happens.
Tom Davis, Fort Wayne News Sentinel. Coach, I understand you have a relationship with Fort Wayne men's basketball coach John Kaufman. Talk a little bit about your friendship with him and what you get from each other being peers in this business.
See, John and I played against each other in college. We were in the same class when I was at Randolph-Macon and he was at Washington Lee. And then twice I've had jobs that he replaced me in when I left, but once at Emory and Henry College and then at Colgate. John's a really good guy, great coach. Obviously, he's done pretty well down there. Very smart, someone that you can trust, someone I feel like I can talk to when there's things I want to talk about, I have issues or bounce ideas off. So it's been a very beneficial friendship for me.
And this senior class, you could coach a long, long time and maybe not have this type of level of athlete and student in one class. Talk a little bit about how special it's been to work with these guys.
Well, certainly they make my job a lot easier. They begins with, obviously they're serious students, and so they take care of all the stuff that needs to be done off the court so they can focus when it's time to get on the court and practice or play. They're great leaders in that they show up every day. They never complain. They are the hardest workers on the team, and if those guys are going to work harder than everybody else, how can anyone else take a day off? And then obviously they're excellent players. I mean, it's nice as a coach when you draw someone up and someone just goes and makes a shot anyway, or finds a way to get a loose ball. But they're certainly very special individuals, and hopefully we have a little while longer with them.
Now, when you scheduled your first few weeks of the season, and your Carolina and Arkansas and I think Maryland was in there, was today or tomorrow, I should say, in your mind when you did that, or was it some other motive?
Well, I think that anytime you play, you don't want the best team in your league to be the best team you've got to play against. So you want to get your flaws exposed so you can get to work on those and correcting them as soon as possible. But the reality is that with the team we had returning and the success we'd had a year ago, it was hard for us to schedule. It was hard for us, especially to get home games. And so playing in the PK 80, which got us North Carolina and Arkansas, got us another home game. And Maryland's willing to play. So we had to fill a schedule out. We figured, well, we got a good team. We might as well go play people and challenge ourselves than play some smaller schools or some non-Division ones to try to fill out our schedule.
Detroit Free Press, when you look back to last year's game against West Virginia, I guess, first of all, from the venue standpoint, did you feel like the general crowd was getting behind you guys when it was close at that point? And then secondly, what did those guys take into this year that they can make some noise in the tournament?
Well, the crowd's a good question. I mean, it's been a while, so I don't remember it as well. But I thought that there was a good buzz as that game was going close and the people were getting behind us. I think the biggest things you take away from being there before is just that, again, it's one game. It's a basketball game, so there's nothing special going on out there. It's about playing the game itself. But I think what it helps you with a lot is like today, is having been through the press conferences, the open practices, the day's more full today than it is the day before game than your typical game. And so just getting your feet on yourself, understanding what you're going through and how to manage your time and prepare properly, I think is the most advantageous thing to having done it before.
Any more questions for over here?
Matt Wins with MLive. How do you mentioned the crowd, how critical do you think it is early in the game to not let that slide with? I mean, I would expect there will be a big crowd on their behalf here tomorrow night, to not let them go off on a run early and just to keep you guys in and keep them
Well,
close.
I think to have a chance to win is the most important thing, is to not fall too far behind. They're really, really good. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country. They've got great talent. They've got a great coach. And so I think that we need to play well for 40 minutes to give ourselves a chance at the end to win a game. And if the better teams you play, the smaller margin for error you have. So if you fall down 10, 12, 13 points, you're dug quite a hole. It's going to be hard to get out of. So being able to stay connected, or hopefully be able to lead the whole way, but at least be able to stay in contact is going to be a big deal.
Coach, I think Bucknell's made the NCAA tournament no, I'm sorry. You've won 22 games, 8 of the last 14 years. Does the success feed on itself and kind of the snowball's rolling the right way now?
Well, I think what it does, certainly in some ways it does. I think what it does is it creates a culture and an expectation that guys, when they decide they want to go to Bucknell, are embracing the idea that you've got to be a great student, that you've got to be a great athlete, that you want to play at the highest levels, that you want to play in games against Michigan State or North Carolina or Arkansas. I mean, you go right down the line. That's why guys come to school at Bucknell, and they come because they want the opportunity to do that. So they want the opportunity to play for championships and those types of things. And I think that in the culture in itself certainly helps it. But you got to continue to get good players. Coaching staff's got to do a good job. You got to have the support of the administration to give you the resources you need to be successful. But I think that it does, to answer your question, it does help because it's the expectation now as opposed to it's not an aberration.
All right. Zach Thomas, I think he was the number 2 scorer in Maryland public school history. How does he end up in Bucknell and not in the ACC or not in the Atlantic 10 or not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think,
or did he have those opportunities?
No, I think that everyone develops at different times. And to be honest, Zach probably as a freshman, even as a sophomore, wasn't ready to play at that level. But he kept working. He got stronger. He kept improving his game. And now he is a guy that could play at that level. The same thing goes with Nana. The same thing goes with Stephen Brown. The same thing goes with other guys on our roster like Kimball McKenzie and those guys. Yeah, they weren't there when they were 17, 18 years old. And if you're going to play at that level, at that age, you've got to be. But if you keep working and developing, you put yourself in a position to be as good as anybody.
All right, and lastly for me, when you see Vermont doesn't make the NCAA tournament, Rider, Wagner, Middle Tennessee State, St. Mary's, programs just like yours that are highly successful, but meanwhile Texas or other programs that don't even have winning records in their league out of Power 5 leagues get in, does that bother you?
No, to be honest, no, and we all know what the deal is when we get in it. We're in leagues where you need to win your conference tournament to get a bid in most instances. I mean, this is my 9th year, I think, overall at Bucknell. The 1 year in 2005-06, we ended up as a 9 seed. That might have gotten us in that large bid if we'd lost, but the reality is you're not going to get the opportunity through your schedule and things to do that. We all know the deal going in. It's the way it is, so I don't really think I'm just glad that our guys were able to rise to the occasion and find a way to play their best when we needed it. And we're very fortunate that was the case. It's not easy. I do feel, I was actually texting with John Becker at Vermont the other day because it's tough. They had a great year, and to have a guy make a shot at the end to send you the NIT, and then you got to go to Middle Tennessee State from Vermont's not easy. And so I feel bad for them because I understand where it comes from, but we know the deal. There's no reason to complain about it or anything like that. We had an opportunity to win games, and our guys got the job done. Good for them.
Ryan Cole, Impact Sports. In preparing for Michigan State, a team so highly ranked throughout the year, I mean, is there kind of one kind of focus point as far as your preparation and kind of slowing a team as talented as them down?
Assuming you've seen them play, so they don't have a lot of weaknesses. No, I'll say first off, we're not going to try to slow them down. We're going to try to play the way we play because that's the way we're at our best. But they do a lot of things really well. Obviously, you start with Bridges and Jackson, and they're extremely talented. Like you said, Coach Izzo does a great job. They defend, they rebound, they share the ball. I think they get over 19 assists per game, one of the tops in the country. They shoot over 50% from the floor. They shoot 40% from the three. So what we've got to do is go out there and we've got to just try to make sure that we make it hard, that we don't give up open jumpers, that we box out so that if they're going to get offensive rebounds and they're going to get some, that they at least have to go over us, around us, and not able to just go right down the lane and get them. That we attack on offense and try to get them on their heels and make them guard us the whole possession and take shots when they're available. But we got to make sure that in order to get the good shots that we work together. And if we do those things, I think we'll have a great opportunity tomorrow.
Michael Epps, Focal Point. Those three guys, you've been with them for a long time, those three seniors, and I just wanted to ask, what makes them special? You said you watched them flourish over these 4 years. What makes them special, and what makes your team special?
Well, I think what makes them special is the same thing that has made us successful as a team, is that they are – very rarely do you come across guys that are absolutely selfless. They honestly don't care who wins the award. They don't care who gets the shots tonight. They don't care as long as at the end of the day we win. I mean, Nana Fallon was Player of the Year as a junior, and Zach was one of those people who graduated him. Nana never said a word. Zach's Player of the Year this year. There was never any animosity or any. They were all supporting each other. Stephen Brown, I've been saying all year long, is the most underrated player that I've been around in a long time. He's going to score 1,300 points and be third in our school's history in assists, and no one ever talks about him until recently. But he never says a word. He shows up every day. He leads. He's one of the guys that whenever he speaks, they all listen to. But he never has his head down. He never complains. He doesn't care. Zach scores 20 points a game, and I believe in the semifinals and finals of the tournament, he scores 9. He was the happiest guy when we won. Didn't matter. And because they're like that, again, everyone else in that locker room has to be like that. And when you have that, you've got a chance to be pretty good.
Do we have any final questions for Coach? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you all.
Good luck tomorrow. Congrats on a great season so far.